want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So can you tell the difference? Is there any difference at all? There's a difference in price. It's about $40,000. Let's see if this gives it away. Panda Boy is on your left. G9. Right? Why did I look at the Canon R5? I figured we'd do something a little different today. I'm gonna battle this R5 versus like almost every camera I have, except the Fuji, because we've already done that in depth. That's the one that deserved it, that I knew would challenge it. These guys, I'm not so sure. So we're gonna do a G9, a little G85 battle, Olympus EM1 III, and I brought the Samsung to destroy it. The final blow. You're dead. So we have the Canon R5 with the latest firmware, 15 to 35 lens at 24mm to compete with the G9. Should be similar focal length. We've got the Leica 12mm Tone 1.4 there. So we're both equal tones potential. I see zebras in the highlights on the G9 because of the micro four loser sensor. This one's heavy. So let's see who wins the stabilization battle. G9 over here. Oh, those are some shakes. G9 doesn't care. You can walk like a child versus the Canon R5. What I'm noticing, I don't know how people somehow manage to get the R5 and R6 to look better than the Sony A7S III when it comes to IBIS, because in my experience, it's not even in the same league. Sony is almost G9 level. It's very jerky at times. If you're doing certain things and you want to be funny and, oh, whoopsie, yeah, it'll get jerky. But if you're just like doing this, it's gimbal-like. Whereas this is not. Now we're at 15mm, and this is where the problems lie. It's just too much. It's too ass much. We'll compare it at 20mm versus the Sony A7S III, because I still have some raw files. So we'll see who has the better stabe. But that's so shaky and heavy. Okay, let's do a little autofocus test. This is terrible lighting. Oh my God. Which way is the sun? There's no sun. Oh, why? All right, who won that battle? Just terrible lighting. I should do it on this side. Oh God, I'm not going to though. So dynamic range, who's winning? Canon, I don't understand what you're doing, ever. You're in aperture priority. Is there no face metering? I don't think you can even change the metering. Like, what is that? Now you're doing it? That was so slow though. And you won't do it here. I don't get it. Okay, I'm curious to see it versus the A7S III at 20mm. So we're at 20mm now. I'm sorry it's different lighting. So don't say that, oh, wow, the Canon looks so much better with the cinematic look. Like, there's no sky. It's complete overcast. And the Sony was in the sun all the time. So here we are, next to the Sony. He's just walking. Which one looks more stable? Are you preferring the colors of one over the other? My goodness. I experienced my first overheating phenomena of the R5 today. I recorded a video for my other channel about nutrition myths, and it got to about 34 minutes in this mode. We're in the high quality 4K IPB, and it overheated after 34 minutes. I then switched into loser mode, 4K line skipped to finish the video, and then I pointed a fan at it, and it took like a good hour to get 20 minutes back now, and we have that. Hey. So here we are with it. I gotta tell you, it's real. So here's the Canon, 20mm, same length as the Sony, although he's at a tone disadvantage. That hurts. I'll try to walk as slow as I was. In that one video, I was like doing this on that Sony. Just leisurely walking, but it was fine. It was much lighter and better tone. You just have some reach on this. You can go to 35 mils. I almost avoided the dumpster, I'm sorry. There it is, in case you were wondering. It's a dumpster vlog. They're important tests. So now let's see if the Canon can compete with the Panasonic G85 of 2001. Can it? May the autofocus gods bless us with their presence. So here we are on the G85 versus the
Canon R5.
We're still beating it. 2025. We're beating it still. Nobody has beat the G85. This is the last footage we'll ever see with the G85. I'm giving it away today. So say goodbye to it, my friend. You've been a tiny little workhorse. You never let me down, except in autofocus and dynamic range and features. But for the most part, best camera that ever existed. You auto expose so great when the sun hits me. You just get there. Doesn't matter what the conditions are. You're a beautiful little horse. You're my little pony of hope. Please tell me I can beat the G85. I'm bound to have some advantages. Not a lot. Although he was in full sunlight. Oh, nice Canon, wow. The dynamic range. Unbelievable. There's got to be a metering mode in there that I'm doing wrong as shit. Alrighty, we have switched it up to Olympus. We're in the flat profile here. I find the log, it's not right. It's overly sharpened. It's terrible for the human face. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Even though it might be glorious if you're filming nature or something, it ain't right. There's nothing right about it. So we're in flat versus log. Not really fair, but I think the Olympus will be all right. It'll be just fine. Canon, what the hell are you doing? I just looked through the menu, not seeing exposure metering changes for video. And that's like terrible. I've never seen anything worse. So I've switched to digital stab on the Canon. I wasn't on that before because Olympus has digital and I've turned that on. So we'll do a little comparison. Is it the same? Or is Olympus somehow better in stabilization? They're one of the worst at it, so I don't know why they would win. My God, Olympus. Versus the Olympus. We're on the 8mm fisheye, but then I straighten it, so it's somewhat of a comparable focal length. It's just a little weird. The background does some wavy shit. Nothing wrong with that, but it's smooth. It's smooth as butter, I'll tell you that much. You get some tone, and it's pretty light. And then the autofocus gets you. But who looks better? Who has better colors? Is it Canon colors or Olympus? I think Olympus is still the leader of the industry. I hope they make another camera, a video-centric one, of course. But what if you let the Canon rest so he doesn't burn out, and you switch to a Voigtlander, 10.5mm, tone less than 1/10 of a tone? My God. Is it stable? I'll do a little side-by-side with the R loser. What a nerd. He just can't compete in today's world. That's still pretty heavy. That might be the same weight. This lens. What the hell's your problem, lens? Alright, so we have one more battle. We're gonna do the Samsung NX1. If that somehow beats the Canon from 2014, why won't Samsung come back? The NX2 would be the best camera ever made. The NX1 already almost was. Imagine them 6 years later. 6 years. In Samsung time, that's like 25 years. Okay, I had to manually expose the Canon just to get my face somewhat bright here. Same with the Sammy. I just did that as a courtesy to the Canon. So we're both blown out because I don't know how to expose, and I'll never learn. Who's winning at life right now? Is the Samsung better in every way? Oh, he better be. He better be. I gotta tell you, I'm not sure I'd be a proud R5 owner. Right now, my computer is struggling to generate optimized media because I can't edit the 4K HQ files, don't even look at the 8K. Even the 1080p is a bit of a struggle on my somewhat modern machine. Whereas I don't struggle with the other, maybe I stutter a bit with the 10-bit G9 files, but I can play it. It's just I'll drop a few frames, whereas this won't even play. It's a bunch of bullshit. Even the line skip mode is tough. So like, how do I recommend this for YouTubers? But who makes the better vlogging camera of 2014? Is it the Samsung? Of course it is. Wow, that lens looks dirty. Wow, that's pretty bad. How are we doing on it? Is it the most stable thing you've ever seen? There's just lens stab and digital on. I'm seeing the shakes. Try to be careful. Oh, that's hard. It's heavy. And that mirror counterweights it to the back. Baby got back, and not in a good way. But am I in focus? Does it ever lose you? It never could. It never did. Unless you're out here, then bad things happen. You start focusing on other things. The Samsung. Where's the Canon? We got digital stab on. We're at 24 mils because that's what this lens does. I think we've learned enough, which is nothing, like usual. What's the better cameras? Did Canon beat the competition today? Did it spank each camera like it should? Because it's twice the cost, if not 15 times some of them. I like the image I get from it, the R6 too. It looks fine. I love that beaches video I made. I got some slow-mo. There is some autofocus issues. It's not as good as Sony out in the world. Maybe at home, like it's smooth for the dual pixel, but out in the world, it second guesses. The light hits you weird. It ain't right. So let me know who won the battle today. G85, of course. I want it back. Asshole. The guy I gave it to, give it back. All right, we're done. Thanks for buying a red camera conspiracy. Who did red right? Any of them? It's red. Subscribe for more videos. See you in the next.